All 4 games have been decided by 1 goal. 3 of those games have gone into overtime. It's been physical. It's been dramatic. The one thing it hasn't been is predictable.
I really can't remember a Mavericks draft where they haven't made a move before 9:30. This is kind of strange for me, but you know what? They did just make a move. They had their number 44 pick in this year's draft, and they took Kyle Hill from Eastern Illinois. And joining me now is the Director of Player Development for the Mavericks, Kiki Vandeweghe. What do you know about your number 1 pick?
You know, I've thought of a great way to end this segment was to show you a wide shot of the ballpark in Arlington. There really is something magical about an empty baseball stadium. Baseball fans, the season is officially here. I'm Mike Rogers live in Arlington. Bob, let's send it back to you. I'm Mike Rogers. Coming up in sports, Lone Star Park has its All-Star Weekend. Meet some of the greatest jockeys of all time in tonight's 2-minute drill. And
hi, this is Elizabeth. Coming up on sports, Mike Rogers with the Lakers game.
That's right, Liz. More on the Mavs and Lakers game coming up in sports. And a repeat performance this Sunday will start to put the focus back on his driving instead of his legacy. At the Texas Motor Speedway, I'm Mike Rogers, WB33 Sports. So as Derian takes over as the club's 15th manager in franchise history, his opportunity to turn this thing around will last until the end of the season. If he's not successful, expect the 16th to be in this dugout next year.
Oh, that's ugly.
For Geoff and Sherry Grant, they've got more than a home court advantage. They've got the entire court. What was once your typical Fort Worth backyard has now been turned into their own field of dreams.
Whoa.
Everybody said you're nuts. There's no way in this heat and everything that you could do it. And you don't tell that to Geoff. So we just did it, and it turned out really well.
20 tons of sand makes everything very level, and so that's really all they took. And our water bill's a little higher than most people's. But
so when the Grants moved into their new Texas home and brought 20 tons of sand with them, were the neighbors thinking, there goes the neighborhood?
I kind of had a feeling there when they started painting their house green and like a country club, so I figured something was going to happen over here. And then they started doing a lot of work on their yard, so I figured they were big tennis nuts, and sure enough, they put this in.
Wimbledon West is one of the nicknames for the Grants' home. While Geoff is very active in competing in national senior tournaments, he plays on several grass surface competitions throughout the year. Finding a place to practice on grass used to be a problem.
we put it in last year and started to practice, and I think that's one of the reasons I did so well. I mean, the second round I played the guy that was world champion 2 years ago, and beat him mostly because I'd had practice on grass and he hadn't.
Part of Geoff's success in grass competitions has to be credited to his wife. Sherry's not only his main tennis partner, but she's also taken on the responsibility, head groundskeeper.
I like it. I like working out in the heat. It's fun. It's good exercise, and you're creating something, which I like to do. I like to be creative.
You know, Sherry, this court really does remind me of Wimbledon. Not only is it grass, but when I hit one out of bounds, there's somebody there to retrieve it. In Fort Worth, I'm Mike Rogers, WB33 Sports.
After recovering from stage 4 breast cancer, Susie Reichley is now an inspiration to women in and out of bowling. It's been 13 years since her life was drastically changed, but today the 55-year-old Richardson native is a sign of good health, and she sends a positive message to cancer victims hoping to follow in her shoes.
As much as the doctors want to help us, they haven't been there. They don't know what we're feeling, and I think one of the biggest messages I send, it's okay to question it. It's okay to have bad days. You're going to have them, but we can survive it, and I think a positive mental attitude is a whole lot of it.
While her strike against the disease has gone into remission, her fight to raise money for the cure has just begun. In February, Reichley and the Dallas Women's Bowling Association raised over $16,000 in the first ever Dallas Bowl for the Cure.
It's wonderful because it's not often in life that maybe you get to give back. I've fortunately had good doctors. My life was saved, and hopefully we can eradicate this disease by raising money. And next February 1st, we're going to start doing the same thing, so I encourage people to contact us, come bowl with us, or make a donation.
Now in her 32nd year as a professional, Susie admits her game is not where it once was. But that's okay. Coming to the lanes and competing at this level is still one of the greatest joys in her life.
It's fun to be out here and be able to compete, and as I said, I'm fortunate that I still can be active, so every now and then I'll come out and play with them.
After being inducted into the WIBC Hall of Fame, her younger opponents have a lot to learn from Susie. In Fort Worth, I'm Mike Rogers, WB33 Sports. Ah, the sights and sounds of the Byron Nelson. It's that time of year when some of Dallas's finest come out to take in all this great golf action. Yeah, right.
This to me is Silicon Valley by the best. I mean, you can't get any better than this. You either come here to look at the scenery or the golf, and look at all the percentages goes towards the scenery here.
I like to come and just watch the people because there is so many insane women here. Dallas women.
Last year we sat out here and watched the heels that were, 5-inch heels and girls dolled up to the 9, their hair all sprayed, give it up.
For some of these women, they couldn't tell you the difference between Tony the Tiger and Tiger Woods. So what is the real motivation for making a statement at the Byron?
Because all the guys are out here. Because they're hunting shopping. This is a place to come to look for guys.
To pick up men. I have a good man. I'm married. Hello?
Actually, I'm married, so I look at it as window shopping.
But as far as the golfers go, does the omnipresence of so many single women affect their game?
I try to stay focused. I just got married. If you asked me when I was single, I'd maybe tell you, but I can't say it. No comment.
Well, what a tough assignment this was, hanging out in the sun all day, talking to some of the best women in Dallas. I don't know if I can handle another one of these, but if you guys need anything else, I'm sure you know where to find me. At the Byron Nelson, I'm Mike Rogers, WB 33 Sports.
With 3 weeks left until the All-Star break, Barry Bonds needs just one home run to set the record for most homers in the first half. He's sitting at 36 right now, and if you're curious, that's 10 games ahead of Mark McGwire's record pace. Can we say the Bonds watch has officially started? The Giants and A's finished up their Battle of the Bay. While Bonds wasn't going for the fences, he would have settled for a hit on this play. Terrence Long robs him of the base hit. That would have been Cromie if Chrome was here this week. The Giants, they did hang on to win a 2-0 final over the A's. While Barry was going for Mark's record, Big Mac was getting tossed. He was ejected for arguing this call. Big Mac is out of there. The Redbirds, they didn't really need his bat anyway. Craig Paquette brings in 2 runs with this single. St. Louis with an 8-3 win over the White Sox. Cardinals found out after the game, outfielder J.D. Drew will miss the next 6 weeks with a broken right hand. Oh, man, really couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
And now, sports with Mike Rogers.
If the Dallas Mavericks are the most international team in the NBA, the Seattle Mariners are leading the pack in the major leagues. With 20 games against the Mariners this season, Rangers fans should get used to the names Suzuki and Sasaki. Ishiru Suzuki, the new leadoff hitter for the M's, a lifetime .353 hitter in Japan. He gets the Mariners started. A double down the line off Rick Helling. And then remember this guy? Mark McLemore, a 2-run knock to right. And the Mariners would jump out to a 4-run lead in the first. I'm getting worried about that Rangers pitching staff. Rangers down 7-2 in the 7th, and get ready for the most exciting highlight in all of baseball. See ya! A grand slam for Rafael Palmeiro, a 7-6 game, and even Michael Finley gets out his share for that one. 7-6. Right now, this one is not over yet. The Houston Astros have gotten off to the right start, 3-0. Looking to make it 4 straight. Craig Biggio's back this year, and he hasn't missed a beat. A 2-run shot to left. Astros go on to win 4-1 over the Pirates. Well, it was another fun night for the Mavericks on Thursday. Doesn't it seem like they've had a lot of them this year? After clinching a playoff spot on Tuesday, it was time for the debut of Wang Zhu, and the 7'1" Chinaman came to play. The Mavs gave Wang some playing time in last night's win against the Hawks. He shot 2 for 5, finishing with 6 points and 3 rebounds. But most importantly, he hit the money shot. 100 points with that bucket, and that means bring on the Chalupas. Another great night, and a good impression was made in Wang's debut.
I know it was an intense situation for him, but he just got out there and did what he was doing over in China, and that was just make baskets when he had opportunity. So he continue to do that. The sky's the limit for him as far as his potential, but it was a good first showing.
很多东西要学，因为 NBA 跟以前打的比赛它不一样，所以要学一点。
Yes, I still have a lot to learn because the NBA game is right now it's quite different from what I played for.
I just love Shau. That's Wang's interpreter. That guy is just the coolest. To hockey, the Dallas Stars sure picked the right time to get hot. Tomorrow afternoon against the San Jose Sharks, the Stars will look to finish their regular season with a 13-game unbeaten streak. Other things to look for, how about Brett Hull? He picked up his 39th goal of the year against the Predators Wednesday night. If he reaches 40 on Saturday, that'll be the 11th time in his career that he's done that. For the rest of the team, well, you know they got their eyes already set on the playoffs.
I don't think we'll know till the 8th who we're going to play, and we could potentially play that team in the first round. And I think if that's going to be the situation, then you want to have a good solid performance on the ice.
We're finding our groove, I guess, so to speak. We got a long road ahead of us, another season ahead of us. an even more important season. But we're playing well right now. Everyone's playing solid, and we just got to keep this thing going.
Playoffs start next week. If you followed the Cowboys' moves this offseason, you might be a little worried about their offense. With Rocket and Joey Galloway coming back from injuries, who can Tony Banks depend on as far as receivers go? Well, it's kind of scary. You can now add former Titan Carl Pickens to that list. The Cowboys signed Pickens to a one-year deal. This is actually a good move if it was 5 years ago. Last year with Tennessee, Pickens only had 10 catches and was out 7 games with injuries of his own. Second round of the Masters this afternoon. While everyone expected Tiger Woods to be at the top of the leaderboard, who would have picked Masters rookie Chris DeMarco to be in the lead? It was another impressive second round for the first timer. He shot 3 under at 69. An impressive putt on the 12th. Man, I wish I could do that. That's good enough for the top spot at 10 under. Tiger Woods is at second at 8 under. He shot 66 to follow his 70 performance on Thursday. And that is the same 2 opening scores that Tiger shot when he won the green jacket back in 1997. Mickelson, Duval, and Jansen round out the top 5.
I'm at a good total right now, and hopefully I can continue playing the way I have been. Keep plugging along, and like today, I want to shoot something in the 60s today, and I was able to do that.
Must be nice to be able to predict your score like that when you're golfing.
Yeah, just keep plugging along
right.
and shooting the 60s.
We can all do that, right?